you mentioned it, and it sounds very interesting, and I want to know why this is. Why do creatives in the mainstream comic book industry, why are they broke? Like, why
It's the
how does that
starving
happen?
artist, like we see it in music, same thing, where people for whatever reason think it's worth bragging because a bunch of
It's
dipshits.
glamorized
Yeah,
too.
it's
It's
like
very much glamorized in
I know
comedy as
you would know it
well.
too. It's like, oh well, I did a show in front of three people. Like this is what you have to do. It's like, wait a
Like,
minute,
"Oh,
that's
someone threw a sandwich at me." It's like, that's not good."
yeah, like dude, no, like that's not good. Like you don't want that. That's not preferable. But this whole starving artist thing that we see all across entertainment, these people think that this is what you have to do, or like you said, they glamorize it. It's something worth bragging about. It's so many similarities to what I saw with what I dealt with in the music industry, where folks would say the way that backwards, the way we did things was not the industry standard. And I was just the only guy that bothered to step in and ask why. Like, why? Okay, I get that everybody's doing it, right? Why? Why is it that we have to all quit our jobs to go tour and only perform in front of three fucking people and lose money? Like, why? Why? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, none of this adds up. And it's funny how they would much rather protect that structure that has left these guys broke. How many every time these Marvel movies come out, you'll hear these stories about creators that created those characters that ain't see shit. Like they ain't see nothing. Like they like, what the fuck? I'm not seeing a goddamn dime
Mm.
from that because they got fucked out of their royalties or whatever it was. They didn't negotiate well. That's what y'all facilitated. And I pay my artists well. I pay them very well. I pay my anybody that's part of my project. I make sure they eating good, and you think that they would latch on to this, not to like necessarily try to get in on what I'm doing, but maybe there's something that they could take from that, implement it in their own respects, and reap the benefits of it. But they don't look at it like that. They hate me so much that it's not worth it. They rather protect the guys that's been fucking them the entire time.
I think all these creative entities and the systems are set up for new people to be intimidated or scared or just not have the skills, not have the plan to do it themselves. Like, I
Yep.
think there's similarities between like art, comedy, and music, right? You're starving artist. You have to. There's very much ingrained in the culture the paying your dues portion. You're
Yep.
new, got to pay your dues, got to do the shit gigs, got to do the ambush shows, got to be okay with not being paid. But like, everyone understands that's the beginning, but no one's ever told like, okay, and here's the point in your career you have to be asking for more money and
Yep.
asking
Yep.
for this much more money, and at
Yep.
this many years in you should be asking for this much money, or because you're trying to gauge, because you could fail 20 years into something. There's comedians who are 20 years in who are not even making feature pay yet because they
Yeah.
just there's no path for any of this stuff unless you have a good mentor or you have an entrepreneurial spirit, and you're really focused and driven, or like me, it's like, okay, anything to just not go back to a day job, anything to just not
Yeah.
be making copies and doctor's appointments for like some rich asshole.
Yeah.
You need to be, and again, it's having the good people around you, and it's
Yep.
almost like these systems are set up for like a talent scout, or right, like the old school, you know, executive, or like a scout to come and scoop you up. There's all this, I'm being waited to be seen, I'm being waited to be chosen, and you can spend your whole life waiting to be chosen, or you can just roll up your sleeves and do it in 2 years, or do something in 2 years.
100%. Like that's the way. Like in the digital age that we are in now, it's more possible for people to have a direct line of sight with their audience anyway. A lot of this stuff is just like fat that needs to be trimmed, like that these middlemen, like in the music industry, like you could have be an artist, right? Or a band, in a band, y'all can get a million fucking plays, a million views on your music video, and all five of you motherfuckers broke. You know who ain't
Hmm.
broke? The guy that produced your shit, the person or the group of people, the A&R that discovered your
Same
punk
thing as
ass.
porn too, like,
Right.
that you could very easily, like, definitely in the pre-OnlyFans era, very
Yeah.
easily be a broke, and
Yeah,
you're
be
like,
broke as fuck. Everybody, and I don't believe in the fact that okay, if everybody's seeing my shit or everybody's enjoying whatever it is that you do, shouldn't you be reaping the benefits from it? That just seems logical to fucking me. But so many folks, the struggling, starving artist approach, got these guys in a fucking deals where they're getting destroyed, and then they have nerve to fucking brag about the shit, or worse, hate someone for daring to be like, you know what, maybe I don't want to fucking do what y'all doing. You know what I mean? Maybe I don't know, I want to get paid, or rather I should be at minimum reaping the most benefit. Why is it that in the music business, like with these bands, that if you're not like a massive one, you know what I mean, but you do relatively well for yourself, you got y'all five that actually perform the fucking music, right? That people are listening to. Yet again, there's everybody else is getting the money. The producers getting the money. The A&R's got the money. Getting paid whatever salary maybe they're paying. The fucking label itself is getting paid because you're gonna jump into some deal, 80-20 deal or something like that, where you got to make 20% of what you making from the record or whatever is going to this pool where you have to make the money back that they gave you to pay for the record.
Oh,
It's kind
wow.
of a Ponzi scheme, because they're like, hey, we're gonna give you all this money. You got to go to the producer that we want you to go to, and all that money that we paid for that to get this shit recorded. Well, you got to pay that back with that 20% that you're gonna be making, and then after that, which may be fucking never, you'll finally start to make money off of your shit. Nobody questions it. This is the industry standard. There's so many
Wow.
metal bands that are doing this right now, and that's why a lot of y'all's favorite fucking artists don't got shit. They don't have nothing. They still. This is why a lot of them go with that kumbaya. Not even kumbaya. It's like fist in the air. I'm down with the establishment, because the establishment is the one fucking them, but they too stupid to understand that they ended in that deal, and that doesn't have to be that way. They're just going through the motions.
You wonder if it's is it a failure? Is it fear of success? Is it a fear of failure? Because I'm just looking at all the steps you take. Like, I'm sure a lot of people would knock themselves out. It's like, oh, are you willing to put in your life, dump your life savings into this? Yes or no? No? All right. Well, you're going to stay where you are. Yes. Okay. You can move on to the next.
Yeah.
And it's like, you have to be willing to take 20 risks. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And you could be knocked out at any point along the way. You have to be all in. Um,
100%. And this is why it's so frustrating me from even an economic perspective. And obviously, as a guy who just now entered into like a brand new fucking tax bracket, like I know the amount of work that I fucking had to do and the risk that I fucking took. Like when the money was piling up with the Rippaverse stuff, you know what I mean? When that money was piling up, I'm sitting here watch all of this shit go down, and I'm like, wow, bro, if this don't work the fuck out, man, like I'm gonna have some problems. You know what I mean? Like for real, for real. And thank God that that we didn't run in that. But yeah, there are risks that are going to be certainly involved, and I took that risk, and I'm now reaping the fucking benefits. But you got people taking the risk, and then even then they see success because they got all these middlemen involved. They'll see the success and won't see shit, won't see a dime from it, or it'll be minimal.
Right, and a lot of people are just they're seeing the positive articles about you, they're seeing 3.4 million, and they're going,
Yeah,
"Ugh, what is God, he doesn't deserve that.
yeah.
My art is better, my concept is better." And like nobody is there with, of course, obviously your wife and your team, they're with you every step of the way, every
Hmm.
risk, every like nail biting,
Wife's in
like,
there right now, like working right
"Ooh,
now,
this
not
is our
even
whole
joking.
savings." Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
there
She's like literally,
licking
she's in there
licking
doing it.
envelopes or
Yeah, it's
something.
like she's over there. She's actually putting bags in the board, so it's close to basically licking envelopes. Is basically what it's like. This is our work. Like this is what we had to do to get in this position. And yeah, like people knock it. Like you have those weirdos again. Back to the haters. I know this is a guy, for guys that follow me on Twitter. You saw this guy who had been in comics, and he dared to say something like, "People just want to see you earn your spot." I was like, "Wait a minute, earn fucking what spot? I don't answer to any of you motherfuckers. Like that's the point. Ain't no spot I
Oh,
gotta
like,
fucking earn."
see, there's the idea of the dues again.
Yeah,
Like, in
yeah,
people's minds, they go, "Well, I've been in this 10, 20 years longer than him, so in my mind, he hasn't paid his dues," but they're using it with their system,
yeah,
what's in their
yeah,
head of who deserves what, and it's like
yeah.
the market decides who
Yeah,
deserves
not
what.
you, motherfucker. So yeah, that ain't my fault that you've been doing whatever for 2 decades and you haven't seen the success that you thought that you was. Oh, and so you saw
Deserve.
me kind of. They look at it like I just skipped the line, right? Like I just came in here and said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do whatever it is that I do," and we saw the success. They like, well, he didn't go through the proper channels. Like, well, fuck y'all. Who cares? Like that ain't got nothing to do with me. That's your problem. If anything, again, you should see this and you should want to look, man, I'm not keeping this as close to the chest like other folks may.
You're for everybody. Everyone should skip
I
the
want
fucking line.
everybody. I
Yeah.
want everybody to eat. You know what I mean? So go ahead and get out there and get it. If there's something that you could take from this and you could implement it in your own stuff, go for it. Fucking go for it. You know, we're having a whole content series that we're about to start where we go through the like the grind process of like what did I do to get to this position? Like where I say, all right, this is how I did this is how I did that. And maybe there's stuff that people have never considered that they could get something from this. That I want that. Like I want people to be able to take this because I actually believe in this message of a parallel economy, but I want people to be able to take it and implement it for themselves and be great. That's what I want and expect. I would love to see other people flourish, but other folks are like, well, he didn't go through the proper channels. Like, well, that ain't my fault.
Yeah, the proper channels sometimes waste your time and get you stuck,
Yep.
and the proper channels are run by people who don't want to see you win.
Yep. 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 Yeah. That's and if that's how I guess that they look at it, it's like the misery loves company, is the old saying, right? So they look at it like, well, shit, they got in a shitty situation. Therefore, I'm obligated to go through that same stuff. And it's like, nah, not at all. It's not how this work.
You see the same thing when, like, a YouTuber or a TikTok person, like, exactly, skips the line with comedy. They blow up, they have a huge audience, and a manager will be like, "Oh, hey, let's figure out a way for you to do 45 to an hour minutes of stand-up on stage." And people see that, they go, "What?" Like, I think of this example, I think her name's Pinky Patel. She's, like, this random Indian chick. She blew up on TikTok, and she's headlining rooms, and comics get so salty over that because it's like a big old line skip. It's like, no, no, no.
Mm,
You have to look at the point of view from the people who work at these venues that are trying to sell seats and sell shows. It's not the old way anymore where you just
yeah.
like you have a late night show and poof, you have a career laid out for you for 30 years. Like you're all done. It's like, no, you got to work for it every day. And it's like, if you're going to waste your time being jealous of these TikTok people, people are jealous weirdly for me at me for having a podcast and maybe skipping the line in a
Hmm.
small way. They're like, "Well, you didn't like grind it out on the road for 20 years." It's like you got a podcast. It's like okay, we're all doing it. The point is, how can you find your people that are going to go to your show? So it's like, why are you bagging on me because I found my people? Go out there and find your people
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's not like I took your people from
Yeah, I ain't
you. Like
stopping you, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't it like, dude, like it's the fixed pie, you know what I mean? Kind of fallacy where they look at it like the pie can't grow, you know what I mean? So they like, well, other person being a success means that it's a threat to me and mine. And it's like that's economically illiterate. And that's not how this shit works. Yeah, they could go see be great. And you could also go out there and be great as well. And you can increase the demand for whatever industry it is that you're in. But these people that look at it like those are the people that I'm so weary of. Folks just see somebody be great and they're like, well, that should be me. And they didn't do what we did, so fuck them. Like that's not how this shit works.
'cause it's easier to be negative and shit on somebody than it is to, like, take a hard look at yourself and be like, "What am I doing that's not working?
Yeah,
Like, what in my pattern, what in my process do I need to tweak?" Because what you think is the right path, it's like, maybe that's not working for you. Well,
yeah.
clearly it's not. We wouldn't be jealous and have feelings. Love you guys. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for the comments. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Bye. All right. Love you guys. God, I don't even want to leave. This candle smells so good. I don't want to leave. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. Love you all. Join the Discord. Feet. Love you all. Wow. You guys are awesome. Love you, get it. Bye, guys. Bye. Now I'm really leaving. Love you. Bye.